Greetings and peace. My name is Ram Hotep, and I am broadcasting to you again on behalf of 13 Signs Astrology. In this particular episode, I'm going to talk about money. I'm going to talk about finances, and I'm going to talk about this from a perspective of the individual, to help the individual to put together a really good, financial plan on a spiritual level here for 2013. Now, it's important that in 2013 more than ever that we really understand the topic of finances, because this particular year is going to be more of a year that's ruled by the earth element. This year is going to be more of a grounded year, believe it or not, but it's going to be a lot of physical things, more of a year of manifestation. Last year was more a year of the mind. It was ruled by the mind. It was more of a mental year. So last year, a lot of magic took place, a lot of internal magic took place. It was like an internal year. This year is going to go into more of, like I said, everything that was happening to you internally and things that you were dealing with internally are going to manifest. All of your fears, all of your worries, all of your struggles, and then all the good things too. All of the courage and things like that you were able to build up. You know what I'm saying? Like over the past 12 months or whatever, all the faith, all the belief in magic. And just basically like all of the just willpower that you were able to build up, that's all going to be like manifested in the year of 2013 or whatever. So it's going to be like a physical year, like it's just a year of kind of like, it's really like kind of like the way I see 2013 based upon the moon cycle. When we went into 2013, we went in up under what's called a waning moon. So the way I look at that is this: like when we go into a year and it's a waning moon, then that means it's a continuation of that last year. Like, for instance, when we went into 2012, up under a new moon, up under new moon energy. So 2012 is like a new year. A lot of new things began or whatever. And 2013 is going to be basically the completion of the things that took place in 2012. So that's why it's important. And this is going to be the physical manifestation. As I said, the shift started inward and it's going to manifest outward. So in this particular video, I'm going to be doing a lot of videos to kind of like help people understand a lot of stuff that I was talking about in 2012, like the ancient ones and all of that. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos breaking down exactly what these things are, ETs and all of that, and helping people to understand it on a more of a physical level now. Let's bring it down to earth so that the average mundane person can understand these topics or whatever. So that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of in 2013. But in this particular segment, I'm going to be talking about money, though, because money is key. And when you think about money, like most people, they don't look at it from like what it is. They look at money more like just the money itself. And money is a medium. That's the first thing you got to realize. Money is a medium. You can't really do too much with money. I mean, just think about it. If you have $1 million right now in your hand, what could you do with it? If you had $1 million, I mean, I know you can go spend it, and I'm saying, like, what could you do with it itself? The physical resource of money. You can't do anything with $1 million in cash because it's not worth anything. You can go cash it in and go buy things, and you know, I understand that, but you can't do anything with it. But same thing if you had it in the bank, you can't do anything with it unless you exchange it. So it's a medium. And that's what people fail to realize when they start working money rituals, because I did a lot of talk about money rituals and money magic and stuff like that last year. But what people really don't realize is, and this is what I want to really focus on more on this video, is that the key to attracting money is you have to like have, I guess, like a way to attract it. Like that's the first thing you got to understand or whatever. Like when you get into the metaphysics of money, like, okay, say for instance, if your life is this, if you just go to work, work a job, you come home every day, take care of your children, do whatever you do, and then sit home and watch TV and watch sports or whatever, that's cool. I mean, I'm not knocking you or whatever, but that's not going to get you in a position to where you can really attract some money. Like if you really want to like attract some money or whatever, you have to have like open gateways. So like, if you a type of person or whatever that work a 9 to 5, come home and watch sports or whatever, take care of your children and stuff like that, and you say, for instance, you want to work a money ritual or you want to work a money spell, and you decide to do one because you're like, I'm broke or whatever, and then you work this money spell and nothing really happens for you. You're like, well, nothing happened. See, the person I got this money spell from was a charlatan. Ram Hotep is a charlatan. Bobby Hemmett is a charlatan. No, these people aren't charlatans. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is that you have to understand that the way rituals work. When you do a ritual, you still have to, that's when you working with your intuition. That's when you working with your subconscious mind. But you still have to go on the other side of that and manifest the ritual that you worked. And you don't have to do much. Like this is what people fail to realize. I'm not going to tell you have to do much once you do the ritual. You don't have to do much to manifest it, but you do have to do something after you do the ritual. There is something on your part that you must do, and it's really simple. You have to leave open gateways. Like, say for instance, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you don't have any open gateways, you know what I'm saying? Like when you come home from work, you don't have any other ways or sources of income, is what I'm saying, to bring money or energy to you outside of your job. That's the only gateway you have. So for a person like that, really doing a money ritual for a person like that, the first step for them would be to even just start to play around with their creativity, to know that they can create ways of creating, I guess you could say, multiple streams of income. They have to be open to that idea. So a person like that may do a money ritual, and it might just open them up to the idea of being open to be able to create more multiple streams of income. And that may be how the ritual work for them. You know what I'm saying? But say, for instance, if somebody that already has 10 businesses does a money ritual, and they already have 10 businesses, and each business is bringing in $100,000 a year, and they turn around and do a money ritual, they might turn around and find somebody who wants to buy all 10 businesses, a big Chinese investor who wants to buy all 10 businesses for $1 billion a piece, just because they did a ritual. And you might say, well, how come they got $10 billion off their money ritual, but I only turned around and I didn't really see anything off my money ritual? That's because they had more open streams of ways basically for income to flow to them. Now, when you start looking at money, money is like water. It's ruled by the element of water, and earth too. It's a mixture of water and earth for different reasons. I'm not going to go too much into that here, but you can actually use any of the elements to attract money: water, earth, fire, air. Just depending on how you look at it. Like air, you know what I'm saying, can deal with more of like banking and like electronic wire transfers. Water, you know what I'm saying, is more like the flow of the way the money is flowing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the earth element, which is the tangible money itself, like the credit cards, the money, just the money itself, the tangible money. You know what I'm saying? So you got the different elements can rule over money, but in the sake of this particular segment, I'm talking about money in relationship to water. And you have to have like different gateways or pathways so that this water can flow to you. So if you only have one pathway for water to flow to you, that's how much water you're going to get. You have 10 pathways for water to flow to you, that's how much water that you're going to get. But the thing is that you have to have a way. In order for the money rituals and stuff like that to work, it's all based on creativity. All of it is based on creativity. I mean, if you're not using your creativity to create, then it's not going to work good for you. If you're just going to work and exchanging your time for money, that's not using creativity. That's exchanging your body for money. That's basically really what you call selling your soul. So when you start talking about rappers and stuff like that, and they're selling their souls, excuse me, you need to really think about yourself. Not you, and I'm not talking like to a person that's not saying this, but I'm saying this to a person that goes on YouTube and talks about these rappers selling their soul, but then they got a 9 to 5 job selling their soul too. And I'm not saying rappers aren't selling their soul for money and doing stuff in exchange, using their body to get money, because that's what really selling your soul in their mind in exchange for money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do anything for money, but you're selling your soul when you go to work every day, because that's how the game works. You're giving your energy over. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole nother story in and of itself. So you have to, instead of doing that, you can use your creativity instead of selling your soul. And you can sell that. It's called intellectual property. You can sell your creativity and turn it into intellectual property. And that's what you have to learn how to do, is learn how to turn the creativity into intellectual property. And from there, that'll be able to bring way more money, way more abundance, way more wealth to you. Now, before I get into like really talking about the meat of what I want to talk about, I do on my website, I have put together a lot of it's not really a lot, but I do have like one money ritual that I do on the website or whatever. That particular money ritual is more of a deeper occult money ritual. It comes from the Sumerian text. So it's more of a money ritual that a lot of people, it works great. It's a hidden treasure ritual, but a lot of people have a hard time really, I guess, not really getting into the ritual, but really grasping how the ritual is going to work for them. You know what I'm saying? Or grasping how the ritual even worked for them. Like a lot of times people be like, well, I did it and I really don't see any difference or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different type of ritual. And you know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize that ritual is really designed to help you to really spark your creativity and to delve into your hidden treasure and to delve into who you are yourself, so that you can find your hidden treasure, because your hidden treasure is really located within you. So it's called a money ritual, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But it's really based on creativity. And it's the same thing with what I'm going to introduce to you guys this year or whatever, which is dealing with abundance. And these are abundant stones. And then most people that, you know, come to my site regularly, we have a lot of people that come to our site regularly, they know about the abundant stones, and I've already had this on the site. But actually, I'm in the process of redoing a lot of stuff on the site, actually. And the packaging on the stones was not really up to par, so I decided to change the packaging just to let you guys know. This is like the new packaging. On all of our stones in general are going to come with a bag. Like all of our packaged stones are going to come with a bag. Like our abundance package and our love package is going to come with a little carrying case. And they're also going to come with 4 stones in here or whatever. And I'm going to get into what these stones are good for. And just to kind of show you how money magic can really work and how, like, what it's based on. Now, this first stone I have right here is Citrine. You guys know this is my favorite stone. Everybody that knows me personally knows that Brother Ra loves Citrine. I love, some people call it Citrine. One of my fellow students calls it Citrine. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I call it Citrine. And this stone is really great. This is a Leo stone, so that's why I like it, probably personally. But it's good for a lot. Now, before I get into like talking about what it's good for, you can use stones and crystals to manifest. You can use stones and crystals to manifest. Stones are minerals. They're minerals. They're elements. I've talked about this in the love stone video. So you got to kind of almost look at this like a computer chip or like a piece of software, right? And when you use this piece of software, it's not going to just poof bring you some money like magic. But what it is going to do is when you put it in your hand and you bring it into your aura, you're bringing it into your computer system. So it's like you're installing the software into your computer system. So you're bringing it into your aura, and it's going to help you to be able to create new methods of attracting money. So it's similar to a program. Say, for instance, if you had a software program, right? And that program, the reason why you got it is because you want this program to be able to do things for you that normally you wouldn't have been able to do on your computer without this program. New ways of compiling information, because that's what all programs do, whether it's whether it's a PDF format program or whether you're dealing with Photoshop. All of it is information, compiling it a certain kind of way and presenting it a certain kind of way. And the stones work the same way, beloved. We're like supercomputers. So Mother Nature put these stones here for us because these are like computer chips. And when you put this into your aura, it works a certain kind of way and it resonates with you, and it's going to give you a lot of different ideas based upon certain energies. Now I'm going to go into some of the energies of Citrine. Now, before I talk about the energy, it doesn't hold any negative energy. Citrine doesn't hold any negative energy. It's one of the only stones like that. It's a few other ones like that, but it's one of the only stones that doesn't hold any negative energy. It balances the yin and the yang energy. It aligns the chakras. So when you have this stone, now this is important when you talk about money, because I know you're thinking like, well, what does this have to do with money? I'm going to explain to you every attribute of this stone and how it can transfer into money for you. So when you start talking about balancing of male and female energy, that's important. The reason why that's important is because I don't care how you're making money, you're dealing with people, men and women. And when you understand money in the second house in astrology, you understand that, and you get into understanding that resources, your resources are dependent on other people. And that's why it's stupid for you to be selfish. It's stupid for you to be selfish because all your resources are dependent on other factors. If other people don't give you things, do things for you, it's over for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to have any money, because even if you work a job, even if you have a business, no matter what you do, your resources are dependent on somebody else. So that's why it's important to have a balanced yin and yang energy and aligned chakras if you want money, because the more your chakras are aligned, the more balanced you are in your masculine and feminine energy, the more creative you're going to be. The more people are going to be attracted to you. The more men you're going to attract. The more women you're going to attract. The more money you're going to get. And that's what it comes down to. You want results. So another thing it does is it enhances focus and endurance. Very key when you talk about creativity. Now, creativity takes a lot of willpower to work with. You need willpower. Will and creativity go hand in hand, believe it or not. You need willpower in order to manifest through the creative modality. For instance, you get an idea. You say, I just came up with this idea and I can make so much money. And it might make you a lot of money, but guess what? That's creative. But guess what? You're going to need will now, because you're going to need the will to bring that idea over into the physical reality. So this is what we're talking about in this whole video, is ideas and how we can bring them over into the physical reality. So say, for instance, the idea of making $1 million off of starting a shoe shining business. That's a great idea and it can be done, but you have to come, okay, you got the idea. Now you have to bring that over into the physical reality. which means you're gonna have to start from point A and work it all the way to Z. And that's where endurance and focus comes in at. You need great endurance, you need great focus to bring an idea to this reality based upon your creative faculties. Now, it also stimulates the intuitive self. This stone does. It stimulates the intuition, which is really key when you talk about money. Because now another thing, I'm gonna go ahead and point this out here. Now, when you work with these stones or whatever, like when the Moors and other different cultures came up with like a lot of these properties, because a lot of these properties and like the elements and what they're good for were came up with by the Wiccans and the Moors and stuff like that. So when the Wiccans, they put together the dictionaries and the different ETs, even that helped them to put together the different dictionaries of these different stones and being able to document them and document what they're good for. They put this together, like, I guess from a sense of knowing that most people that work through these stones for money and abundance, speaking of money and abundance in general, they put this together knowing that you would have to have been some sort of a merchant, some sort of a salesperson, some sort of a business person to really, if you want this stone to really work good for you. And the reason why I say that is because, like, if you look at all the attributes of these stones, before I even get into the next one, they really won't work as good if you're going and working a job every day. Like if you're going to work a 9-to-5 job every day, and I'm not knocking anybody that does this. It's not funny. This is for real. I'm serious. Trying to help people. If you're going to work a 9-to-5 job every day, it's not going to help you as much because, like I said, not only you have one stream of income, but you're not using really too much of your creativity to create more money for yourself. You exchange your time for money. So therefore, you barter your time for money. You barter your days for money. So you really don't care nothing about creativity and helping them out to make more money. So even if you are more creative at work, it ain't going to do nothing but make them more money. So you might be working with this stone and helping someone else produce more money. And that's cool if it's going to help you produce more money. But if it's not, I will get myself out of that situation. Now, another thing it does is it helps with the intuition. So like the intuition is good when you like working with people on a sales level. Intuition is great in sales because you got to be able to read a person in sales to know how to sell that product to them. You got to be able to read the person you're in front of looking at. Got to have a good intuition for that. So you might think, well, having a good intuition ain't gonna bring me no money. Yes, it will, depending on which industry you're in. Sales, stocks, working with children, daycares. I mean, intuition is key when it comes to a lot of different businesses. People fail to realize, man. I could go so deep into that though. So you got the intuition, and then you have the last thing, or it's more things that it's good for, but the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is citrine is good for balancing fear. Very key. Most people never start a business. They never take that step because they scared. They scared. They scared. You know what I'm saying? They never take that step because at the end of the day, they like, what if it doesn't work? And this stone solves that. You'll go out. You won't think about what if it doesn't work. You'll think about what I'm going to do once it works. I'm telling you, you'll get to the point with this. It's a Leo stone, so it builds up your courage and your will. And people will be calling you arrogant or cocky once you start really working with this stone. I keep a lot of it, so I don't care what people think. Because what I realize is that most people that become arrogant and get like that, they got like that because of the people around them in the world and stuff like so-called arrogant. Keep in mind, they got like that because people around them in the world and stuff like that told them they couldn't be something and do something so much that they only had no other choice but to become big-headed, cocky, and arrogant. So that's what the world creates, that too, that imbalance. Now, a person that's cocky and arrogant should be balanced with that, of course. Shouldn't be overly cocky or arrogant because that can mess up your money too. Humility. Very key. Got to have humility when you have finances, because when you have money, it's just like you have power. It's like you have a loaded gun, right? And you got this loaded gun, you could kill somebody with it or you could heal somebody with it. So you have the power to give life by having a lot of money. Like if you were a millionaire, you have the power to give or take life. You can put hits out on people. You can do all kind of crazy stuff. That's why people go crazy when they get money. Like people don't really go crazy when they broke. They go crazy when they get money. People go get on drugs when they get money. Like more so, I mean, people get on drugs when they're poor and they're depressed, but I'm talking about like the cocaine heads and the big time drug addicts are rich. That's what people feel. That's why most hustlers got money, because they clients are rich. People that use drugs are rich, and that's because they have more options. You know what I'm saying? Like people that are rich, they have more stress. So it's just deep. It's just deep. Money can, they say it's the root of all evil, but it just takes discipline. That's what it really all comes down to. It takes discipline when you get the money so that you can do right by it. That's where you got to remember Saturn when you have money. You got to remember Saturn and certain planets that urge responsibility and doing right, because money has, I'm going to go ahead and say this here. I'm just really talking or whatever. I don't know where this is coming from, but money has karma attached to it, good or bad. So like, say for instance, you get $1 million, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't do right by that money, that money's gonna it has karma attached to it. It's gonna punish you based on what you got. Even in another life. I look at charts all day and I see people with past life money karma, and they come back and they wonder why they're struggling. I'm like, you got past life karma. You need to heal yourself from a past life perspective before you can even think about getting money. And doing a money ritual or holding money stones will help definitely with that. You know what I'm saying? With the past life karma, but a lot of times there's more to it than that, because you got to figure out exactly why you got past life karma, like with money or whatever. And I know a lot of people gonna watch this video and be like, oh, I got past life karma with money. Not necessarily. A lot of people have money problems because they're working jobs, and you know what I'm saying, like they really don't know no other way. They're not opening up their creative outlets. That's why most people really got money problems, believe it or not. If you had more ways, multiple streams of income, you probably wouldn't have money problems as much. I mean, you might. It's a bad economy. Things happen. I'm not saying everybody's that has a business is going to have money. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people that need to work for people. I understand that. But I believe a business person that really is on some creative kick, like is really on this metaphysics thing or whatever, if they put together a business, they should put together a business where it's not just like the person that's working for them as an employee. They should put together a business where it encourages the employee to use their creativity so they can produce more money for themselves. So therefore, it's a business based on creativity versus slavery. So therefore, I'm not paying you just $9 an hour. I might pay you $9 an hour plus a bonus if you create this, that, and that. Add an incentive in, add a bonus. So that's what, I mean, it's just the way to structure everything structured mainly is the reason why a lot of magic doesn't work as well. But a lot of people do have past life karma, and there's things they need to do, like to their ancestors, certain sacrifices they might need to make. Like when I say sacrifice, like certain things like they might need to do, like pouring out water to their ancestors, or giving up on something, like giving up on transportation or something. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Like to heal my money karma, because I had past life money karma, I had to give up transportation. That's what my natal chart said. Some people have different situations when it comes to money, but you can get money karma. Now, the next stone I deal with this money abundance package is the clear quartz. Clear quartz is a really great stone. Now, this stone is good for a lot of things, but mainly when it comes to abundance, it's good for information. And it's good for amplifying effects. So say, for instance, you're working with this citrine and you're working with this clear quartz at the same time. It's going to amplify the fact that you're not going to have any negative energy. It's going to amplify the balancing of your yin and yang energy. It amplifies whatever stone is next to times 10. So I always put citrine in all of my money, or all my abundance packages. I use either magnets, or not citrine, excuse me, or clear quartz. I use either magnets or clear quartz in all of my crystal packages because of that. So that's the clear quartz. And then the next one is going to be the tiger's eye, which is very, very important stone. Now this stone is a Leo stone as well, and it's good for clarity. Now when I say it's a Leo stone, it doesn't mean other people can't get it if you're not a Leo. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, I ain't a Leo, so I can't get that stone. Like, no, it just means that it resonates with the Leo type of energy. And you notice that a lot of the abundant stones resonate with the Leo energy. Reason being is because Leo, according to the zodiac, is the sign of the king or rich person. You know what I'm saying? So rich, not like, see, people think like rich money, but more so like royalty. That's a better way of putting it. Leo is the sign of royalty. It's one of the signs of royalty. Actually, there are other signs of royalty, which is Pisces is very royal and abundant, and Sagittarius as well. So Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are all good signs when it comes to wealth, abundance, and royalty, and things of that nature. So that's why a lot of the money stones resonate up under Leo, in the astrological sign of Leo. Now, tiger's eye is good for clarity, really good for mental clarity. It's good for the opening of the third eye. And especially in earthy people though. Now you can open your third eye like with a lot of different stones, but this is particularly for a person that has earth energy, like a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. If you have that type of energy, using this stone will help you more so than somebody else to open your third eye, because it resonates with an earthy person better when it comes to the opening of the third eye. Now, why do you want to have an open third eye? To manifest money, because you need to be able to see the future. You need to be able to pierce the fog. You need to be able to see into the fourth dimension so you can see how things will play out. Say, for instance, you put together a business plan. You need to be able to see that play out through your third eye and know if that's a good plan or not. See, that's how you do it. That's how you work the money rituals. See, it's more than just like getting money. Like I said, people just knocking on your door and they bring you money and miracles and stuff. It's more about creativity, and like it's really magic, and it works. It really works. Now, the Next particular element, I mean, thing that is good for is clarity. Of course, you want to be clear. Like this stone, it helps you to be not just clear, but like clear when it comes to putting together puzzles, clear when it comes to really solving things and like sorting things out. So like, say for instance, you have this tiger's eye and you might have a problem, right? Like you might have a problem like, I need $10,000 in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I got this tiger's eye stone and I don't know how I'm gonna get it. This tiger's eye is going to help you to use what you got. It'll help you to show you, based on the resources that you have in your area, how you can make that into $10,000 just by holding the stone and working with it and just keeping it in your area and in your energy. Now, to work with stones is like how you work with them. It's easy to work with them. You talk to them, you put them in your left hand to program them, you put them in your right hand if you want them to speak to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you just do different stuff with them. You keep a piece of jewelry, you put them up under your pillow, you put them up under your bed, you can put them on your bed post. There's a lot of stuff you could do with the crystals and the stones or whatever, but just look at it like a plant. If you don't work with it, or look at it like a child or something, if you don't work with it and talk to it and just play with it and hold it and give it attention, it's going to like try to get away from you. Or if you overly abuse it, like you try to hold on too dearly to it, it'll try to get away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like I had this pendulum, like I was telling everybody, and I was just holding on dearly to this pendulum, and I didn't want this pendulum to get away from me. I was like, man, if this pendulum ever left me, it was a tiger's eye pendulum. That's probably why. No, it wasn't. It was a Citrine pendulum, and that's probably why, because I love Citrine. And I was like, man, I don't want nobody to get this pendulum. I'm gonna keep this forever. As soon as I thought that day, the pendulum left me, and this was recently. I've lost several different pendulums or whatever, but I found out that these stones have a mind of their own, and they could disappear from you. They can leave you whenever they're ready to leave or whatever. And a lot of times if you try to control them, it's just like you try to control people. You try to control them, they'll disappear from you. They're just like money. You try to control money to the point where you're like holding on too tight, it'll leave from you too that way. Reason being is because money has to flow. It has to. It loves to flow. You try to hold on to it tight, something gonna happen because it's like, I got to get out this person's account to go to the next person's account. It has a mind of its own. It's very, very interesting how all of this stuff ties right into the spiritual world, and people are just missing it, man. Like, people are like going working hard and doing all this stuff, and you don't even have to really do too much. You do have to do something for magic to work, but you don't have to do nothing but just be open. And that's what I'm telling you, create open channels. That's all you have to do. Now, the last particular stone I'm going to cover in this segment is moonstone. Moonstone. And this is in our abundance package as well. Now, the moonstone is good for a lot of things, but I'm going to just talk about a few things in relationship to money. It helps with change, helps you to accept change. Very key, because as I was just saying, money is always changing. It has a mind of its own. When you got this moonstone, you're ready for it. You're ready for it. So when the changes come, you're ready for it. It attunes one with the emotional energies of others. Really great when it comes to a salesperson or a merchant, because you want to know, like as a salesperson, you need to know the emotions of your buyer and know how to like take up the emotions and take them down. Like you're a really good salesperson. Like a really good salesperson is going to like be able to like get a buyer emotional in a good way because they want them to get it, and then bring them down when it's come time to buy the thing or whatever, because they don't want them to be too excited when it comes time to buy it, because then it's like they might think about it like, hold on, I don't need to buy this or whatever. You want them to be calm when they actually make the purchase or whatever, so they can make the purchase and be level-headed, so they don't come back later on and try to take it back like, hold on, you kind to me or whatever. So it's a lot when you work with the emotions when it comes to money or whatever, but the emotions and money go hand in hand. How people are feeling, the psychology of people. This stone is good for that. If you get into psychology, this is how economists predict how the world is going to be. This is why they hire astrologers, because they study psychology, the psyche of the people, and in marketing, they study the psyche of the people. This is why they hire in marketing. They hire a lot of times. They have an astrologer on the marketing board. They need an astrologer on the marketing board to be able to predict the trends of the people, the thoughts of the people, what's going to happen in the world based upon different scenarios during this year. This is all getting into psychology, which is great for money. Great for money, because studying the psychology and knowing how people are going to be a particular year will let you know, okay, I need to sell this idea. If people are going to be on that, I need to be on this. You have to become a shapeshifter if you want to make it in this matrix. And moonstone is good for shapeshifting. It's a feminine stone. And women are shapeshifters. They're master shapeshifters. They're good at they're mutable. So they're good at changing and fitting scenarios in order to get through that scenario. They're just like water. They'll fit the structure of the container that they're in. And that's what moonstone teaches you. That's how you get money. If you want to get money, you have to be a shapeshifter. And lastly, it aids with attraction, because it's feminine. Moonstone aids with attraction, which is key. Money is more so based upon attracting. There is a going out and getting aspect to money. There is a going out, you got to go out and get yours type of aspect. but the attraction aspect is probably more dominant than the yang aspect, which is going out and getting. And when you work with the moonstone, it'll help your magnet to get a lot stronger. It'll help you to be able to attract ideas, money, and thoughts a lot more. Now, I'm not going to take away from the fact, before I go into the last part of this video, I'm not going to take away from the fact that these money stones can bring money to you. These money stones can bring money to you. It's not necessarily like they just are all about creativity. Like, I mean, I've had scenarios where like I was broke, like, and I promise this happened. My mother would bear me witness. I was broke, you know what I'm saying, flat broke, ain't had nothing, you know how I was gonna eat in an hour from now type thing, and found $150 just because I had some citrine in my pocket. I remember specifically one time in Macon, Georgia, when I found $150 in Macon, Georgia, sitting on the ground. I was starving. I mean, starving. I ain't had nothing. This was during the time when I was like actually struggling really, really bad. I found like $150 just sitting there. So I know these stones can work. And I had these stones with me during that time. And I never went without a meal. I never went without anything during that time. Even when the times when I was homeless, when I kept my stones, I was comfortable and homeless. Like, I was the type of homeless cat that the librarians and the libraries was cool with me. I could basically, it was like I was a homeless king more so. So I was able to still be abundant in my homelessness. Just because I didn't have money to pay bills and rent, I was still abundant in that. And that's the lesson, like, when you really get into like attracting money and doing like the money rituals and stuff like that, you will find out that your wealth is your health and your eternal mindset and who you are in your heart. That's really your wealth. If you, as long as you are the type of person that's got like $1 million ego, that's what I call it. You got $1 million ego, you're gonna always be able to attract. You gotta have $1 million ego, which means that you know that you're worth $1 million or more. Whatever you think your price is, you gotta have a $10 million ego. If you want to attract $10 million, you gotta have a $10 million ego. And just know, like, look, man, I can go up here and make $10 million because I got a $10 million ego. That's how you got to do it. So, lastly, I want to just kind of talk about how important money is going to be this year. Shut this video down. I was talking about this a little bit on Facebook. We're going to be going into the year of the snake. I'm going to be doing a video about this in depth, but it's going to be a lot with money this year. This year is a lot about money. I believe this year the currency may possibly get changed over. Now, I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen, but I do believe that the world currency will be introduced this year. I do believe that this is going to be the year where people need to really gird up their loins, really save up their money, get their resources in order. Definitely want to get your resource in order, and not just like money though, like really get your survival kit in order. Really get the things that you need to make it, not just have money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Because the bank might not be there. I mean, it's going to get that deep. You really want to have your economy together. That's what I'm trying to teach people, to like create your own personal economy. Food, clothing, and shelter is the basis of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot to that. I'm going to go do videos talking about creating your own personal economy, but that's what it's about this year. It's not just about money. It's about food, clothing, and shelter. And being able, once you got enough of that for you, being able to provide more of that for other people. It's all about cooperation right now because of the times that's coming or whatever. So if the world currency is introduced, it can make a price of gas go up to $32 easily. I mean, there's a movie out. I suggest all of you watch it, and I'm trying to remember the name of this movie. Oh man, I just got hip to this. It's called Atlas Shrugged. Really great movie, and it's like a sci-fi joint or whatever. But I know some people out there probably watched it. You can leave in comments like, yeah, I seen the movie or whatever. But that movie is great, really great, and it shows like some stuff that's going to be going down soon. And the movie takes place in 2016, right? So in 2016, it's showing how like gas is $32.50. Gas is $32.50, right? It's showing how like a person can only own one business. Like a person can only own, you can't own 5 businesses anymore in 2016 according to this movie. You're only going to only be able to own one business. What is that saying to people? That's basically saying that, remember I was just talking about how creativity and you want to have more than one stream of income and multiple businesses and all that. That's letting you know that the rich know what I'm talking about, and they know this stuff, and they're already about to set up ways to close off the middle class so they can't make it into that upper realm of society and make it up into that wealthy realm. So they're going to be like, you can only own one business. They're going to have it to where food is not going to be able to be imported and flown in because no flights are going to be able to, they're not going to have enough money to be able to afford the gas to get the flights over here so we can get our luxurious foods and stuff like that. So we're going to be basically forced to either start growing food on this side or basically eat whatever's available from Monsanto. So it's a lot coming, man. Like when you talk about money, this goes into like everything, survival or whatever. So that's what it's all about this year. If you really watch that Atlas Shrugged, it talks about a lot. It shows just the train system that they're going to build. They're going to be building a train system that's going to definitely be able to go from one side of the country to the next, because that's the only way food and things like that are going to be able to be shipped through this train system or whatever. So they're not going to be able to afford gasoline to allow planes to fly into this country or whatever. And it's really going to be set up like that for a reason. They're going to make these nations, I guess, pay more money for gas by making this new world currency, because they need to put the world back onto the gold standard. They need to balance out the greed that America has been up under for so long, because we've been using up most of the world's resources. And meanwhile, based upon us having a really strong currency, which was the dollar, but that dollar is not backed by nothing. The dollar's not backed by nothing. So what's going to happen in 2016 is that this dollar pretty much is not, $1 is not going to get you what it used to get you. So, you know what I'm saying? You might pay $32.50 for some gasoline. Like I said, that's all based on the currency being devalued. So it's important that you really understand and get gold. That's key and stuff like that. But don't get gold if you ain't got no food. Like, real talk, just investing in food alone. I'm letting you in on a secret. That's why I always call myself a raw food revolutionist. I'm letting you in on a secret. Investing in food alone will have you'll have money just investing in food alone. I'm not going to say too much more, because I'm going to be, this is for my, you know, students or whatever. And like, I'm going to be getting my classes back started. And this is going to be for my students to kind of like really start teaching them different things they're going to be able to invest into that are cheaper than gold, because gold is like $1,500 an ounce or something crazy like that. I forgot what, I haven't checked in a while, but it used to be like $1,500 an ounce. But I'm talking about stuff that's like $50 that you might invest into for $50 right now, but when this thing hits in the next couple years, whether it's this year or next year, when this thing hits, it might be worth $500. You could sell it or barter it or whatever for something else. So got to be wise. That's why I like having knowledge and creativity and wisdom. Is going to really get you through this. But they want these prices to go up, as I was saying before, like for these gas prices, because they're tired of people using up all these resources. And it's really the ETs that are making this stuff happen, believe it or not. It's not just the elite. It's not just the New World Order. It's actually the ETs behind all of this so-called conspiracy, because of the fact that we're killing the surface of the earth. And I talked about this last year, like we're killing the surface of the earth, and a lot of different beings come here and depend on the resources that Tiamat produces. Tiamat produces some great resources that you can't get anywhere else. You can't get a lot of stuff that Tiamat produces here on Mars or Mardu. I mean, you can't get it there. I'm sorry, on Lahmu, not on Mardu, but you can't get a lot of resources on Lahmu, which is Mars, like from Tiamat, excuse me, on Mars. You got to get them from here. You can't get even a lot of water. Like a lot of stuff that we have here, we take for granted. And a lot of beings come here and mine and get resources here. This is why they come here. They basically pillage and rape here and take. It's just like Africa. Tiamat is nothing but, or this planet is nothing but a giant version of what we do to Africa. In different places like South America, we come, take their resources, take. That's what they do to Tiamat. So, and basically what happens is that these beings, they're only worried now because humans are taking too much, because there's more humans living here. And all the beings from Orion and Sirius and Andromeda and all the different star constellations, they're like mad or whatever, because it's politics. They're like, well, so what are we going to do 50 years from now, 100 years from now, because all these humans taking resources? So they're like, we got to cut it off, the clip off. So they hired the Illuminati, you know, break them off some money, resources, and knowledge or whatever, to go ahead and bring in Monsanto, go ahead and bring in the whole raising of the currency, so that food can cost like $20 for a loaf of bread or $50 for a loaf of bread. That's all strategic to kill off a certain amount of the population and to bring back balance to the surface of the planet Earth, because this Earth is needed by too many other beings. So it's a lot. I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. I thank you guys for listening and watching. And until we meet again, I'll leave you in peace. But before I do shut this video down, I do want to say this is our new packaging. So I know people that was getting the stones before or whatever, like the packaging was kind of like not up there. But what we're doing this year on these abundant stones and all of our stones is we're going to be like on some more like professional type packaging. It's going to come with a bag with it. Like I said, it even comes with the stones, and it comes with the properties and stuff like that, and what they're good for right on the label. So everything's right on the label. So if you're interested, check out the stones at the link below. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down, and until we meet again, I'll leave y'all in peace, love, and light.